Warning: the following podcast contains violent scenes that may be unsettling to some listeners. Listener discretion is advised. In the fall of 1987, four men find themselves reunited with childhood friends for the first time in 10 years. They are drawn together by the mysterious death of a mentor they all cared for together as children. World of Darkness: The Ultimate Evil is a first edition Chronicles of Darkness game that takes place in Bismarck, North Dakota, and is inspired by the Satanic Panic of the 1980s. Remembrance is the first story arc that follows Alex, played by Adam B., Wayne, played by Adam C., Che, played by Andrew, and Michael, played by Slavic, as they discover the mysteries that surround them in their hometown. If you would like to contact us, you can reach us on Twitter at twin_cities_VTM or on Facebook at Twin Cities by Night. We hope you enjoy.
You're heading to the state library there, Wayne. So before we continue, and I'm not trying to say that you have to do this with this role, Wayne, but I'm just telling the group, and people may already know this, but one thing that I like about New World of Darkness compared to Old World of Darkness is the willpower system. There's whatever. I'm not going to say one's better than the other, but I do like the fact that spending one willpower gives you 3 additional dice to roll when you're trying to do something. You know what I mean? And I kind of like that concept because I feel like sometimes willpower can be a little bit exploited. You know what I mean? And classic World of Darkness. So you're riding your ran down car to the Capitol grounds. Again, to describe it, huge area that's square in shape that has a tall Capitol building. It's actually the tallest Capitol building in the United States. It's like 36 stories tall, I believe 36. It's made of like a grayish concrete, and there's smaller, I guess, Roman architecture that you kind of see when it comes to like the state library. And then you have the Heritage Center, which is a larger museum where actually Che works at. That's a little bit more modern looking, 80s design, architectural looking, because it was actually opened in the 70s. So but what's really kind of cool is when you walk towards that, you have to walk like on concrete walkways that are about 15 feet wide, almost like 15 feet wide sidewalks that kind of cut through like lush, well taken care of, manicured green grass. You know what I mean? We see like people flying kites and stuff like that. It's kind of fall now, so it's a little bit brisker. I would say it's about 65 degrees, 70 degrees, like we have to wear like a long sleeve, maybe a fall jacket, but you occasionally see someone like with a blanket, reading a book or something to that extent. Like people like to flock to this area for a sense of relaxation. As you're walking there, you kind of see people who work in these buildings, especially Capitol buildings, people like in suits or stuff like that, kind of maybe be walking opposite direction as you, especially probably going to lunch at this moment because you're kind of heading towards the library. You're in a lunch area. No one really gives you any second glance, to be honest with you, because so many people that are in this area are usually busy doing things, You come up to the area of the state library, which in its front looks like your typical Roman / whatever themed architecture that you see with the pillars. There's like 5 pillars and there's like 3 sets of like 6 steps or 7 steps, where you walk and there's flat, then you walk and it's flat, and you go up to where there's these actually sliding glass doors that like kind of motion detection. And so you walk through, and as you walk through, you get into this little entryway, then there's another one, and you walk through and you kind of just are overtaken by the smell of books, but you kind of like catch this whiff. If there was any smell that could be assigned to that, this would be the smell, that you feel. And you see a kind of like a walk-up area where there's a desk, and you see that there's a lady that looks to be in her 40s or 50s who, who's sitting there just doing little busy work behind her, stamping books. They have the stamps with the stamp of the cards in the back, closing them, putting them on a cart. And you look to your left and right, and you just kind of see that the library is rather big. You can see kind of like their study area desks where people are at. There's one of those new awesome Xerox machines that are kind of like the thing now, where you can like use a quarter, make a copy of a book or something to that extent. And then you see more books, shelves of books that come along. You see a Dewey Decimal card system where you can go and look up stuff. But right now, like this lady is probably like and you see like ask question, feel free to ask question sign that kind of hangs above the desk that she is at. So, all right, go ahead.
Okay, so inside the library, I'm going to kind of be looking around, feeling probably a little bit out of my element, because I'm just a gas station guy who works at the trailer park. I don't really find myself in here too often.
Definitely. It's a little overwhelming.
So I'm probably gonna walk up to the desk or whatever. Yeah, like a desk, and tell her that I'm interested in looking at some microfilm.
Yeah, and she looks up. She's like, "Oh yeah, yeah. Come with me." And she kind of puts a sign like, you know what I mean? Be back in 5 minutes. And she's walking towards you. This lady's kind of like exuberant a little bit, and you find in a way that it matches, you know, like the kind of like the newfound motivation that you've had, where she kind of has like she has a sweater on that kind of has like fall colors to it, and she has like these like fall color slacks, like brown slacks, and she's got like a curly perm and like thick glasses, but she's kind of like always smiling and full of energy. She's like, "So, what brings you to the library? What are you trying to look up?" And she kind of like, you following her as she walks along.
Well, I'm doing it's kind of like I'm helping somebody with like a family tree kind of project, and I wanted to see if I could look into my family name. It's a Welkstetter.
Welkstetter, you're a Welkstetter, really? And she kind of walks along. Are you from out of state or something, or out of town?
Yeah.
Oh, well, come along. Yeah. She's like, I don't know if anyone's ever told you, and you're following as she's walking. And she keeps like, you're like finding a hard time catching up with her, and she keeps looking back, and she even walks a little backwards and has this like keen ability to like avoid like running into things. And you know, this is how this discussion is going on. She's like, yeah, you're probably a distant relative, but the Welkstetter family is a pretty well known family around here. Matter of fact, it's kind of sad, but well, like the kind of the head of the family died in a car accident. I think it was like a few months ago. You walk up to like where there's two like pulling glass doors, and you can kind of see these like where there's like these like overhead readers, and you see kind of people like sitting looking at them, and you can kind of just see them like hit a button, and when you walk in, you hear the like when they hit a button, like a sound, like it goes to a next roll. And you kind of just hear that sound as like different people. It's like, yeah, Calvin Welkstetter. He's like, well, here, hold on a second. She's like, have a seat. And she kind of motions. There's a desk where you got to like sign in to use one of them. And she sits at the other end. She's like, do you know anything about your family? Like the Welkstetters here in Bismarck? You don't know anything, do you?
Oh, well, I mean, I know some stuff. You know, it's more of just me. I need to just try to get the like specifics of facts, dates, stuff like that. It's for a thesis project.
Okay, well, here's what I'll do. And she's like, I'm gonna go get you the roll that has the story about the car accident, and then I'll get you the roll I'll get the issue of the Bismarck Tribune that has the obituary and the story of his car accident, and then we can take it from there, okay? And then, you know, this is fun. She's like, this is fun. Like you're gonna get all these answers, and I get to help you with that. That's awesome. She's like, let me go back and get it. And she's like, and she flips a board. Here, just go ahead and sign your name. Put your the date here. Put your time there, and I'll go back and grab the rolls. Okay.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you helping me with this.
Oh, no problem. I think it's awesome. I think it's really cool. I'm a family tree person myself. I absolutely adore it. I love it. We'll talk about that more when you find out. Maybe you might want to start one, and I can give you some advice on how to. And you see her, she like disappears behind a door, and then she comes back about like 15 minutes later. She has these two rolls. She like pulls out these rolls out like about like, you know, this wide, circular, about an inch thick, and she kind of motions towards you. She takes you to a desk where there's one of these things like, okay, this is how it is, and she tells you how to put the roll in. And you figure out when it comes up, it'll take like the first page of a story. You know what I mean? And you can actually like use the system to kind of zoom in a little bit on a story if you want to, so you can focus on the story more, if that makes sense. You know, you can move the screen around.
It's like a dial, right? You kind of.
Yeah, I think it's like a dial. Yeah. So yeah, you're looking through. So let's go ahead and talk about what you find. So the first one is you find the story of car accident. You find out basically as you're looking through, you find out that Calvin Welkstetter, who was looked at like the head of the family, died at a car accident about 6 months ago towards the end of winter. It was like kind of like the last remnants of winter were left over, and it's believed that he hit some black ice where he spun off the road and his car hit a tree, which led to his death. You find out that the Welkstetter family was a huge ranching / farming family around the founding of Bismarck. That's where they made most of their money in, but there was a dam that was built in the area called the Garrison Dam that led to farmlands to be irrigated, meaning that this land then could end up being built, have buildings built upon it instead of having to be farmland. And that in the 60s, 70s and the 80s, the Welkstetter family, under the tutelage of Calvin Welkstetter, was able to make a huge profit. One example being they had one of the only malls in Bismarck built, the Kirkwood Mall, which sold for $40 million when they sold it in 1984. They owned a lot of real estate in the area. Welkstetter at one time was married to a Miranda Welkstetter, but they got a divorce in 1979. And then you see a picture of the Welkstetter family on the bottom. Give me a wits and composure roll. 1, 2, re-roll the 10. Re-roll the 10. Okay, 3 successes.
Cool.
All right, sweet. So as you're reading it, the story, you see a picture down below, and you see underneath, it says like the Welkstetter family, 1979, left to right. You see this lady. She looks to be about maybe in her 40s, distinguished, kind of has that natural, and I don't want to say, but sometimes you can look at people's facial structures and you could be like, yeah, they're from like a fucking Holiday in the Hamptons kind of Kennedy family, has a nice wardrobe that speaks of not only being educated but cultured, which is you're looking at this like, man, I only see shit like this on TV. When you see her like that, like on Dynasty or on Dallas, which were all the fad back then, you see a picture of a guy named then you see it says Calvin Welkstetter, and you're sitting there and you see he has his arm around like her waist a little bit, and he's wearing like a really nice suit. Of course, this is all black and white, so you can't like really see colors, but you see that he has like a nice dark blondish hair. You can imagine, mind you look at black and white, you're trying to equate, has a very well trimmed mustache, slender, looks athletic built, but looks like he could be in his 30s or 40s. And then you see someone standing next to him who has like blonde hair. It's kind of like parted on the side, a little bit longer, kind of in a bowl cut. And you're like, holy shit, dude, that's that Charlie Dunn guy. That's like, but on the bottom, you see it says Charles Welkstetter. Then you look at the next reel for the autopsy. You look over the autopsy, and you're seeing pretty much like what I said before. And as you're looking at the autopsy part, the lady comes up to you. She almost scares the shit out of you because you're sitting there like, what the fuck? Then you're, hey, and you're like, you pop your head up, and she's like, hey, I think I found, and she's like, I found another, actually, it's in print, a Bismarck Tribune that's kind of talking about the Welkstetter family too, if you would like to look at it.
Yes, definitely. Thank you. I'd love to have a look.
And she kind of like, she sets it down like, because there's like a little like table to where if you had like a notepad and were writing something down, you could set it down while looking. And she kind of sets it down there and she walks off.
I'm going to give that one a look.
So you're looking at it and you've seen that it says trouble in the Welkstetter estate is like, and it's all like on the second page.
Sorry, just really quick. What is the date from? Like, what is this Tribune from?
We'll say like a month ago. So we'll say, we'll say like August of 1987, As you're looking at the story, you're seeing that there's actually some issues now going on between the inheritance between his ex-wife, Miranda Welkstetter, who said she had a prenuptial agreement saying she had rights to a certain percentage, and how a group that represents the interests of the Welkstetter family, to include Charles Welkstetter, are kind of fighting her against that, But then also there's words that how a ranch, which was really popular at the time where Calvin Welkstetter lived, which is a 30,000 acre ranch that's in southern Bismarck, south of Bismarck, has recently gotten foreclosed on due to debt. And they're saying that, in gist of it, maybe that the image of the Welkstetters having abundance wealth may have been a facade. You know what I mean? That more is coming out, and that's kind of where it leads off at that. So here's what we'll do. I kind of always handle like investigation shit like this, where I've given you like a gist. Now, if you have any questions, you can ask me, and we can start rolling and see, you know what I mean? Like, if you find anything out, if you want to, or if this is good enough, this is good enough. I don't want you to feel you have to.
So, like, so I know it's like, it's not like you could obviously just like punch in a name to Google or whatever, like you can nowadays. So if I wanted to find out like specifically about like Charles Welkstetter or specifically about like Miranda Welkstetter, I would have to like know like a date or something to be like a point of reference, right? For like when their names pop up.
Yeah, you can try, and you would have to like spend like, you're thinking, okay, around here they're talking about her around the death. Maybe we look, you know what I mean, at certain parts of the paper. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of this, looking for stuff.
Yeah,
over,
I think I'm pretty good with what I got. I definitely want to tell the group about a lot of this stuff, especially since I've seen a picture of Charlie Dunn, or Charlie Welkstetter rather. Yeah, I know that there's definitely this connection now, so I think I'm satisfied with that.
we'll say you spent like the last 3 or 4 hours. You know what I mean? Just kind of
A
like 3 hours. I would
montage.
say. We'll cut to Che. Che, you wake up. You hear this voice message that he's going to be at the state library looking into this Welkstetter stuff.
Okay. I guess I'll check up with him later. And in the meantime, I will do like my morning routine, going out for a jog and all that kind of stuff. Come in. The first thing that I am going to prioritize is I want to see if there's any things that I can check up on myself, because I'm kind of like restless, he wants to do this, but nothing's happening. And so
you want to see if you can like investigate anything on your own?
Yeah. I want to try and look into one of these leads myself. And the last thing I remember, there was a guy that this Charles Welkstetter, but in character I don't know. So my whole goal is like I was going to look into this person specifically. So I was wanting to look into that, right? Without
who he is and everything like that.
Yeah, find that guy. Because so far we haven't really uncovered a lot about him.
Yeah.
And so I was going to look into like phone books.
We could do that, definitely. Here's the thing. How about this? We'll say you could look into phone books, and if you have no luck there, that you could probably head to the library because that's where, you know what I mean? That's where Wayne is at right now, doing kind of the same thing.
I want to kind of do a little bit on my own first.
You look in the phone book for Charlie Dunn, and there's no names that come up for Charlie Dunn, unfortunately. Not to be a jerk face, but even Michael tried to look up like police records or anything on him at the station, and it had no luck. Yeah, last session. But one thing that I want to deal with your character was during your morning jog. If we can go back to that, would you have an issue if we do? So while you're running for your morning jog, you're kind of like getting into that spot where you're growing into rhythm with your footsteps, almost getting like hypnotized with it, to where you're slowly becoming introverted. Meaning, I have that happen to me. Some people call it runner's high sometimes, where it's just like you're breathing like a self-hypnosis in a way. And as you're running along these streets, you notice out of the corner of your eye, and for a second, it's almost like it almost tripped you up to where you almost like tripped and fell. The woman that you had a dream of. And you see her where she's kind of like leaning against a tree, and she's like watching you as you run. You know what I mean? Like you're catching, like almost like imagine you're running and you're like looking out the corner of your eye, and you look to see it, and you see her for a little bit, and you see like the wind blows and her hair is like coming across her face like that, like almost like, where like women are always trying to look long hair, and you see her fixing her hair, and you can see that she's looking like right at you. Like, when you're running in the sweat and the breeze hits your sweat and you kind of get cold, but it's almost like if someone turned on like a fucking shop size industrial blower on you like that, like the coldness, you know what I mean? Like you get this goosebumps that just like break out all over your body as she's standing there looking at you. And when you kind of like close your eyes and try to focus again, you kind of notice that like she's gone, that there's no one standing there.
Like maybe there was someone there and they moved, or like
you saw something and there's nothing there. Like there's no way that someone could have possibly been like, haha, like around the tree. And maybe we can even say like, you stopped and you were like, what the fuck? And you went to go, you know what I mean?
I'll look around if I don't see her all of a sudden, just kind of take better.
She's not there at all. You feel this weird, like you smell this while you're standing there by the tree and you're looking around, you smell that smell of like sex again. You know what I mean? Like in a way, that you smelled in the shower, that you had like a faint smell of, that you smelled with her, and it's weird, and you're overcome with like the sense of melancholy, and you don't understand where this is coming from, because usually you're not the type. I mean, to be honest, I picture Che to be like the strong, silent type, but like you're hit with this wave of melancholy, man, and you don't like you almost want to cry, but it's this like you don't know if it's because you're running or because of the fucking stress, you know what I mean, of all this shit or everything, but you have like this sense of like yearning, that like you had something ripped away from you, almost like, yeah, like if this would have been a real person, you know what I mean, who now is no longer you anymore, like someone you were in love with that was just ripped away from you. I'm gonna jump to Alex while you're kind of ingest what happened there real quick. All right, Alex, you wake up, you have this horrible nightmare again, but this time it's a weird, intense. It's not like horrific like the Jay Bishop with the blood and the intensity of the eyes. But this one's more almost like that sense you had from when Brian Eagle definitely made you feel threatened, but it's like intensified. And you can't remember the images of the dream, right? You can't remember what happened in the actual dream, but you just fucking waking up and you just feel like threatened. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Scared, like almost like there's some, that's just that's how you wake up feeling. That's how your day is being started there.
Yeah, Alex will probably freak out a little bit at that, like jump out of bed, trip on the sheets, end up face planting into the wall as he goes, tangled up with his blankets, cursing in English and Russian. God, what God damn it!
As you are like untangling yourself from the sheets, you look up at your clock and you see like it's in a crazy later than you normally. You know what I mean? It's like 2 p.m. Like you slept in. You know what I mean? Like, but your sheets are just soaked with sweat. Just like you're like pretty much. And you look at your bed and you just see like obviously you fell off. You know what I mean? But like your covers are all strewn apart, and you just feel like horrified in a way because it's like it's a sense of unknown. It's a sense of lack of control, and that's kind of like what you're feeling right now.
Okay. As he disentangles himself and stands up, he'll shiver involuntarily.
You hear a knock on your door. Alex, you all right?
In Russian, he'll respond, Yeah, I'm fine. I just fell out of bed.
You want it's really late. Where are your nice friends, Michael? Why aren't you with your nice friends?
I was with them last night.
She's like, can I open the door? You need privacy. You still need privacy?
Hold on. And he'll grab a pair of tighty whities and put them on. Grab his pants, put them on. Okay, come in.
She opens the door and you see her eyes get wide looking at the streets. Michael, are you Michael? She walks up to you and she puts like the back of her hand on your, reaches up and tries to put the back of her hand on your forehead. She's like feeling for fever.
I'll try to catch her hand before she gets it up there. I'm fine, Mama. I'm fine.
You sweat. She's speaking in Russian. You're sweating. Like, what is with these sheets?
Too many blankets, I guess. I don't know. I got all tangled.
She's like, looks at the
fell out of bed.
Did your father turn up the heater again? I tell him in America, not everything is in abundance like he thinks.
It's
thinks
okay,
it's in America we could have our heat on all the time, and and she's just like totally like walking out the room, ignored your. It's okay, Mom. I tell him, like this is not the old world, but still, we got to be. It costs money. Just walks off as she's walking down the hallway.
Alex will roll his eyes and set about to making the bed.
Wayne, did you call him too, or did you just call Che?
I actually just called Che.
Gotcha,
I was gonna call Mike, but then I just called Che.
All right. After Alex gets up, he'll stumble over to the shower after making his bed. He'll take a quick rinse, get himself dressed, sit down, and start rummaging through the fridge to see if there's anything available to eat.
Yeah, you find that there is. You actually, as you're digging through the fridge, you see that your mom actually is getting in her car. You're like looking through you open the fridge, and you get some, like, you find she left like a sandwich that she made for you. And as you're pulling the plate out, you kind of turn around and look, and you kind of see through a window in the living room. You see her mom getting in her car, doing her thing. She's probably going to do errands as you're sitting alone in your house, and you just hear the tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. And with that tick tock, as you see her trying to eat your sandwich, it's not intensifying it, but it's making that threatening feeling linger. Tick.
Starts to grate on him. He'll eat the sandwich as quickly as possible, and then he will get up and leave and try to catch a bus over to the main.
We'll cut back to Mike. You've gotten off work. Alex, you are at the main. Che, you were trying to look into the Charlie Dunn stuff, trying to find what you could about Charlie Dunn, but also dealing with like you're like literally I can't even like explain. I'll try to explain like this, right? When I was 13 years old in real life, I watched Pretty Woman one time when I wasn't supposed to. I watched a double feature. I snuck into, it was Arachnophobia. It was PG-13, and I stayed over for Pretty Woman. Real life, right? It was actually in Bismarck. I like hid under the seat after Arachnophobia was done with my friends, thinking we're gonna have to wait like 10 minutes until they start Pretty Woman. But they ended up starting Pretty Woman right away, so we popped out and we were able to watch like an R-rated movie without like getting dinged for it. And I fell absolutely batshit in love with fucking watching that movie. I like literally had like the world's biggest crush on Julia Roberts, man. I don't know if it was the hooker gone right story. I don't even think I knew what a hooker was then. But all I knew is like I was madly in love with Julia Roberts, man. And Flatliners came out, like was coming out not too long ago, and I was supposed to go see Flatliners with my friend. And his mom was going to drive us, and his mom's car broke down. And I had this worst sense of, like, I was missing out, like, on the love of my life. Like, there's no way I'm ever going to, like, I never even thought about, like, I could go watch it another day or, like, it would come out on VHS. Like, I just felt like my heart was ripped out of my chest. And, like, I just, like, you know, I was, like, literally, like, sad, man, you know, in a way, you know what I mean? Like you, in a way, I would say, I don't want to say that's how Che will feel, but it's definitely like you're feeling that bashing against the wall of your internal fortitude, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I imagine that
Okay.
in this moment he's kind of, like I said, frustrated. He wants to resolve things, but we're not resolving anything, and he feels like he's kind of useless. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So he's trying,
definitely.
and like all this other stuff going on, and these weird things. Like, yeah, he's internalizing a lot of this.
Compartmentalizing it, you know, and like trying to, like, yeah, I like that term, internalizing it a lot. That's exactly what he's trying, you know what I mean, trying to do. So we'll say that you're all caught up time wise, and we'll say it all leads to right now, you, Wayne, are like, you know, out of the library, you know what I'm saying, and walking out of the library. And we'll take it on you right now, Wayne.
I'm still in the library, just kind of like going over the notes that I've taken. I don't know if I don't know. Can you, like, you can't print from the
No, you
with
can't
the
print from the
machine.
microfilm.
Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
I would have just had like notes that I've taken then, just looking over it.
All right, yeah. So you're probably, we'll take the scene like this. As you're walking back towards the front desk, and this lady's talking about you, and you're trying to be polite because she's like, "Oh, if you ever need any family tree help, feel free to come to me," and blah blah. The Welkstetter family, and you're like, yeah. And you're like thinking, like, I got like this fucking bomb of, you know what I mean, information here. And as she finally walks off, you see Che come walking through the double doors. But when you look at Che, describe how Che is probably looking right now when he walks in. And Wayne sees him.
He's probably a little bit disheveled. You know, just kind of threw on something to wear. You know, maybe some like jeans and like a jean jacket and such. Since the way you describe the day being is a little cooler, and unkempt and kind of like on the verge of irritability, maybe. Like you can see, like,
right,
I don't know, like you can see underneath. He's just kind of, something's bothering him.
So when you get closer, I'm gonna kind of take a look at you. Are you all right, buddy? You look like you just saw a ghost.
I'll tell you about it in a minute. Look, I got your message. Have you found anything else on this Charlie Dunn guy? I've been trying to look, and there's nothing. I can't find anything. And I'm getting tired of this crap already. Like I'm not good at this research stuff. I dropped out of high school, man.
Hey, take it easy, buddy. Sit down. Look, I accidentally stumbled upon a gold mine, pretty much. When I looked into the Welkstetters here, it turns out our Charlie is he's the younger brother of this really rich dude who owns a lot of stuff around here. They're some kind of ranching family, and they own a lot of the real estate and stuff like that. So I think that's why Mike wasn't able to find this guy under Charlie Dunn, and probably why you didn't have any luck either. This was the ticket right here.
Like
now we're cooking with gas.
Let's talk about this outside. I don't know if this is a good place.
Yeah. Sure. I'm gonna pack up my stuff and kind
I don't want to have them yelling at us for talking too loud.
Yeah, follow Che out.
Wayne, have you had any more of those weird visions?
No, not since what happened last time. Why? What's going on?
I keep seeing this woman, and it's starting to freak me out.
Well, who is she?
I don't.
Do you know her?
No, I don't know who it is. I've never seen this person before, and I just keep having these weird dreams. And I was jogging earlier, and I swear I saw her, but there was no one there.
Well, I would tell you that our minds often play tricks on us, but I think I've seen enough to know that, could be something weirder is at the bottom of all of this. So it's just not as cut and dry as I had originally thought at first.
Yeah.
As you guys are standing out there, the wind, like you smell the autumn and the fall, and the wind is coming. Like as you're standing there looking at Wayne, you guys are standing like right outside on the steps, right? You know, and as you're talking, you just feel like the weather is starting to get crisper. Not because of you talking, but like it's really starting to hit you. Especially Che, when you're talking to Wayne, you see like his hair's kind of starting to become a little unkempt, like in the ponytail. You see like some strands, you know what I mean, come by. Like you guys are talking about like these feelings of visions, and you feel like that sense of, I don't want to use death, that's a little strong of a word, but you know what I mean, the sense of change that the fall, especially in North Dakota going into winter, brings with it. As you guys are standing there, you can hear like the wind a little bit, you know what I mean, as you guys are sitting there. You hear the paper on like his notepad a little bit kind of like rattle a little bit as he's standing there talking to you guys. And it almost feels like you two talking at this moment, a calmness and a calmness and a sense of peace, where everywhere else around there seems to be this calamity. Am I making sense by that?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I just wanted to get that across because I totally picture the scene of you guys standing on the steps. Like no one else around. You know what I mean? You guys having this talk. So go ahead. Scene's back on you guys. I apologize.
You want to maybe find the other guys and show them your notes? See what you found?
Yeah, definitely. I want to let everybody know about this. Hey, don't worry about it, buddy. We're in this together, all right?
Yeah.
And with him saying that, you do feel like a little bit of that feeling abated a little bit. Like you feel like when you have a connection with someone, it's a peace that only sincere friendship can bring. Like you can have someone where you're having a bad day, like, yeah, dude, I'm having a bad day. And somebody go, oh, man, that sucks. And you don't get any kind of relief from that because they don't really give a shit or they're not sincere. But then you tell someone, man, I had a bad day. And someone's like, oh, really, what's going on? You feel like there's a sense of caring. And that provides a little bit of relief. You feel that in a hypersensitive type of way, though, when talking to Wayne. Like, you know what I mean? Like this, too. So
we're all bad kids together.
Yeah, man. Fucking, you're all like a Motley Crue together, man. Before Motley Crue existed, So what do you guys, how are you guys going to tackle this?
So maybe we can, maybe I'll suggest that we go visit Alex at the main.
All right. Yeah, you'll probably be there.
Get in touch with everybody, so I'll follow your lead.
So you guys head to the main, or you see Alex is sitting there. Alex, describe to them what they see when you come into the main.
The whole bar, or what Alex is doing?
Like what Alex is doing. Yeah. They know the bar already, but like what like how his mannerisms, how he looks, and what he's doing and everything.
Alex is behind the bar pouring drinks for everyone sitting there. He's chatting, being very friendly. Does not at all look like he's shaken from the night before. He actually seems unusually confident right now compared to what he's usually like when you guys are out and about and investigating. All
right. Seems on you guys. Go ahead.
I'm going to take a seat at the bar and just kind of nod at Alex, and I'm going to I won't say that I brought the notebook into the bar with me because I think at this point I can probably just go off of what I remember. But when I can sense that he's not very completely just busy and bogged down with work, and he has maybe a quiet second or whatever, I'm gonna tell him about what I found when I was looking into the Welkstetters.
I would say the moment he sits down, Alex will slide over an overturned shot glass, quote unquote bubble, as we call them locally. That means you get a free drink.
I'll catch it as it slides down and toss it back quickly.
Alex will cock an eyebrow, shrug, and then put the shot glass back in the pile.
Oh, nice. By the way, it's not too busy. That's what I wanted to say, because it's only 4 in the afternoon right now. Yeah, I mean, and it's a Monday night. So. By the way, Michael, you're just getting off shift right now. You actually are stepping out, you know what I mean, of the station, freshly showered, thanking God you don't have to sit there and talk to that guy anymore or pretend like you give a shit what he thinks about as you're walking away. So, all right, scene's back on you guys.
So, all right, after Alex makes sure that all of his customers are taken care of, he'll walk over to Wayne. Yeah. You guys don't want anything to drink, or?
Sure, I'll have a beer. Nothing too heavy. I don't want to, get started too early.
All right. Any beer in
I'm gonna-
particular?
Whatever.
All right. Alex will grab a bud, pop the top, hand it to him, and then Alex will pour himself a shot of vodka, slam it back. So how's it going?
Rough morning.
Oh, what happened?
Just not resting well. I'm seeing shit. Weirding me out. Have you had any more of those weird visions?
Alex will sort of look down the bar at the regulars and look over his shoulder, see where his co-workers are, and then he'll lean in. No, but I woke up freaking the fuck out this afternoon.
Just kind of, Che just kind of nods and is like, yeah. And then I'm seeing things too. People that I don't even know. Same one over and over, this woman. It's kind of, after what happened before at the house, stuff kind of makes me jumpy, you know?
Yeah, I understand. Welcome to my life for the past, 10 years.
While you two are talking, I'm like off at the cigarette vending machine thing that they used to have back then, where you could just buy a pack from like the little machine.
I miss those things.
You see a payphone there.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to give Michael a call at home.
Yeah, that's the only number you have.
Yeah.
You put in the change. You hear it drop down. Click, click, click. You hear like, you know what I mean? As you're pushing in the numbers. And you're kind of like, shit, I remember these numbers. And especially back then, I don't know if it's like that anymore. I don't know if you dealt with it anymore like that, but it's like back then when you remembered a phone number, that was like a big step. Like, oh shit, I remember their number. You know what I mean? It's like a thing of reflex. And that's kind of how you feel when you're doing it right now. Michael, as you're unlocking the door, you kind of hear your phone ringing as you walk in.
Michael Gray speaking.
Mike, what's up? It's Wayne. Listen, we're all down here at the main. I found out some more stuff you'd definitely find interesting. So why don't you come down here when you're ready?
Yeah, definitely.
We'll be hanging out here for a while.
Okay, cool. I'll be there.
You're going to, I take it, like head over there then? Is that what you're doing right now, Michael? You get there in about 10 minutes. I don't know if are you going to wait till he gets there to start talking, or are you going to start talking? I would almost say, though, and let me shoot this to the group, to you guys. I would say almost at this point, your guys' group feels like you're becoming a nucleus. You know what I mean? That like you would know. It's like not even. It's like unspoken. That doesn't even need to be spoken. That like, hey, all of us should be here before we talk. You know what I mean? Like it's. You know what I'm saying? Like the sense of belonging and like being pieces of a puzzle together. You know what I'm saying? Like is this almost like unspoken? Like you guys are gonna shoot the shit, smoke a cigarette, and have a beer until you wait for their final piece to show up. Am I incorrect in that, or would you guys view it the same way, or?
I think that makes a lot of sense. Like, definitely wouldn't start without him. Because, I mean, we're at a bar. We can just be drinking and stuff before then.
Well, yeah. And,
like you said, shooting the shit.
Yeah, and I want to articulate, like, also that you guys are starting to feel comfortable around each other. Like, almost like that moment that you and Che had. You know what I mean? The moment that Che and Alex had. The moment that you and Michael had, but Michael more so elbowing the shit out of his window when he's pissed off. You know what I mean? But, like, you're all, like, starting to feel like being magnetized. You know, that there's some magnetic center that's pulling you guys closer together, if that makes any kind of sense there. So we'll say, Michael, you go ahead and head in the bar, and you see Che and Wayne sitting on the bar, and you see Alex behind. What does Michael see when he comes in with you three, when it comes to mannerisms, how you guys are holding up and everything like that? I mean, like, if he was to, like, read his body language of you guys, like, what would the body language he see go from each of you guys? I'll have Wayne go first.
Okay, I'll be sitting at the bar, elbows on the table, with the ashtray in between, smoking a cigarette. Definitely anxious, like he's got like the sweaty hands. He's waiting for Michael to get there so we can kind of, I have big news I want to unload. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So when you see Michael walk through the door, you probably like look like an eager kid, like about to jump out of his seat kind of thing, right? When you notice him.
Pretty much. I'm like, yeah, Michael's here, like, all right.
Yeah. And what about you, Che?
Che's more relaxed now. He's got a beer. He feels like there's like a structure. People we're getting together. We're going to solve things together. It's not just something overbearing and pressuring him now. So he's probably than he was just a little while ago. Being here,
that makes sense.
Guys drinking, he's in his groove.
It's like a support structure, I think is the term. What about you, Alex?
Alex is in his element. He's very comfortable and confident right now, just slinging drinks and chatting with everybody along the way.
So that's all you. That's what you see when you walk in, Michael. So go ahead. Seems on you guys.
Yeah. Okay. So, hey guys, how's it going?
It's
It's
looks
going.
like we got some big news. And I'll just
Yeah,
kind of look
yeah.
at Wayne.
So, Michael, you remember when you were trying
Wait
to...
a second. I need a beer. I had the worst shit
Oh no, there's
ever.
probably one here waiting on him.
I got this new partner, and he just keeps on talking and talking and talking. Oh man. Ugh.
Before I start ranting at him, I'm gonna give him a chance to unwind. I think Wayne has kind of forgotten that he just got off of work, so
And he's a police officer, and that's a pretty stressful job.
yes,
When Alex
exactly.
When Alex hears that, about the new partner, he'll pour Mike a shot and just set it in front of him.
Thanks, buddy. Just okay. Let's do this. What did you guys find out?
Okay, so you remember the other day when you were at the station trying to look into some of these names? And Charlie
Yeah.
Dunn. It didn't turn up
find
anything, right?
Yeah, absolutely nothing.
Well, when I went to the library and I checked out the microfilm of the Welkstetters, I found out that they're a pretty big family around here. They own a lot of real estate. They're a rich ranching family. So when I came across a picture of this kind of like the head patriarch of the Welkstetter family who died last month in a car accident,
Uh-huh.
or was it last month or 6 months ago? Who died recently in a
6
car
months ago.
accident. I saw a picture of Charlie, and turns out Charlie is his brother. Charles Welkstetter is his actual name.
Damn. Wow. That puts things into perspective.
Makes sense why we couldn't find him. It's a fake name, Charlie Dunn.
Yeah.
We're definitely getting somewhere now.
You said you had some other things too?
So you found out the Welkstetter family we had talked about. They own a bunch of alarm family. They owned a bunch of farming land at first and ranched, and that's how they first got into power in southern Bismarck. And then they were able to sell a lot of the land in the 60s, 70s, and 80s and build real estate on there because of the Garrison Dam was built that kind of stopped the irrigation that made the land be able to be built upon. They actually had the first mall in Bismarck built called the Kirkwood Mall, and they sold it in 1984 for $40 million, which is an extravagant amount of money. Calvin Welkstetter was married to a lady named Miranda Welkstetter, but got divorced in 1979. The Welkstetter Ranch, which is a 30,000-acre ranch that Calvin Welkstetter lived in, has been foreclosed after his death. There are rumors now that maybe he wasn't as good with his finances as everyone thought. The current estate is being fought over by Miranda Welkstetter and a group of people who represent the Welkstetter family, which is pretty much just Calvin Welkstetter right now. That's about it right now. So
yeah, I will mention the stuff about the other members of the family, Miranda Welkstetter, the year that they got divorced. I'll mention that he had this like estate that was foreclosed on. And I'll also want to mention, so when I went into the library and I asked the woman working there for help with the microfilm, she kind of lit up when I said Welkstetter. It's a big name around these parts. It's a well-known family, and I just want to get that point across too. So.
Great. Not only are they fucking weird, they're rich too.
That's what it looks like.
We at least have
Yeah.
somewhere to start now, where we can
Yeah,
talk to
definitely.
them. Maybe they know where to find Charles.
yeah, you even have a name now too. You can look up like a real name rather than who knows what can be found out with that real name in itself.
Yeah.
When are you supposed to meet with this reporter again, Michael? Because this is a lot of stuff we can give him.
I gave you his secretary's phone number, didn't I?
Yeah,
But I'm just supposed to just call it in, I guess. Because he's a pretty busy guy, so I don't expect him to, just stop by.
Yeah, he said he was in California, like looking into stuff.
Hello, folks. Have you ever wished you could have an easy way to find gameplay videos and podcasts, or just media in general that deals with your favorite White Wolf role-playing games? Or have you ever wished you could find a forum to share gameplay that you have recorded, one which wouldn't be drowned out by random posts and discussion, so that your media could get the attention you want? Well, we have the answer for you in a Facebook group we run called White Wolf RPGs Gameplay and Media. The group is specifically ran with the sole intent of it being a one-stop shop for people to view or share media involving the games we all love. We take thorough steps to ensure the page does not become cluttered and is easy to traverse. We are currently over 1,000 members strong, and we are continuing to rapidly grow with new media being shared every day. Stop on by. We hope to see you there. High Level Games, the industry's first choice in taking your games to the next level. We are a podcast blog and new media network at highlevelgames.ca. We have blog posts about all of your favorite games going up 5 days a week, and a podcasting network with actual plays and shows that discuss role-playing games, with more rolling out all the time. We are on iTunes, Twitch, and YouTube. Find out more information at highlevelgames.ca, a site that certainly isn't controlled by a shadowy board of directors of otherworldly origin. That's highlevelgames.ca.
Please, help. They're coming.